Hey everybody, and welcome to ESPADA versus Nemiga. We are ready to go, and I like Nemiga going for the real street signs. Nemiga gaming, not gaming. They gaming on you.
Yeah, they don't even add the apostrophe at the end, just straight
No.
gaming. And we'll see what they can get done. There's going to be quite a bit of utility coming into this. This is the winners matchup. I was kind of surprised you had this in the B stream, to be honest. And what's a pleasant surprise? ESPADA versus Nemiga Gaming should be the best game on at the moment. Dexter taking down MDS to open things up, fully blinded with the headshot. Go back for a little bit more here. Dexter shutting down Speedak, and now the bomb is dropped on long.
Ripe for the take, and Finnegan just goes out and deletes Lollipop. And a rough one for Nemiga. Okay, they quickly pull it back with 2 kills. That one for Box was expected, but Jo up behind on the Sotfic, putting it into a 2v2. USP picked up. Box even got a smoke for the cross. He's throwing that one down close, allowing him to jump over and pick the bomb on his way. Getting a running start to it. The boys have already rotated over to short where they take down Jo. The plant comes in, but Box is low, and he's going to have to rely on these headshots connecting. Oh, man. Never mind. Dima just one-taps him out of this universe. ESPADA do come ahead and win the pistol round. 1-0 on Dust 2.
Well, yeah, ESPADA coming into this, I think they were a part of that 5 best of 3 between ESPADA and Hellraisers. And well, coming into this matchup, ESPADA, I'm excited to watch this team. I've casted so much of this team over the last few months. And for the most part, I've actually become a big fan of this roster based on what they've got. They've got a pretty solid team overall. I'd say Dexter, definitely their star player, but if you have Patsy, he's a very supportive element. He's really good at doing all of the heavy lifting and all the roles that no one really ever wants to do, all the dirty work essentially. Saltfig is a really good aggressive rifler, so keep an eye on him if you're into exciting Counter-Strike players that can pop off. And then and then Dima, he's more of a quieter player alongside Finnegan, who's pretty just a solid rifler, right? He just gets the job done.
It's a team that's really come up within the CIS region recently, and I think the thing is, Nemiga are a very inconsistent team. At times you look at like MDL, they can play really well, and the next day you tune in and it just looks very lackluster. And I think we even saw that on the first map there earlier with Lollipop and Box having very rough performances and then coming into the light a little bit later on maps number 2 and 3. That was their game, the first game of the day we had versus Moscow 5, where they actually lost the initial map of Overpass, but then came back to win Nuke and Mirage. When we look at this series actually in particular, you'll see Dust 2 is the pick of ESPADA, coming in with the CIS tradition of playing on Dust 2. And up against Glocks here, you can see they're having no trouble whatsoever, losing a FAMAS, but other than that, it should be relatively easy. The next map will be Nuke, the pick of Nemiga. We saw them on that earlier, looking clean versus Moscow 5. So no surprise that that's picked. And Mirage to finish it off as well, the other map that they closed the series out in earlier. I guess the upside is maybe ESPADA have had the time to go back and look at what Nemiga played and how they played it. Because ESPADA obviously had their first game versus Hellraisers and have had quite a big break since then. Although their Dust 2 game versus HR didn't go too well. They lost that 16-10 despite winning the series. This one's eventually closed out as we expect. You know, the Clocks managed to pick up the FAMAS but don't do anything with it. And I mean, that's the real problem you're going to have when you've only got the FAMAS to work with. Then they come up, though, 3-0, where the full buy comes in for Nemiga and the real difficulty starts.
Yeah, this is where the real tough challenge begins, right? And we got the buy finally coming in from Nemiga, Speedak onto the AWP. Very good AWPer in his own right, so this is certainly going to be a difficult scenario. We'll see if ESPADA can overcome this first challenge. If they do, well, they're certainly in a good position. It's going to be Dima that takes down MDS early on into the round. He's just behind those double doors inside the middle. MDS tries to get up on top of the Xbox, but will fall victim to the rifle of Dima. And goes back in towards the B-bomb site. Finnegan has an anime profile picture, so it certainly will be fraggy today. Most of the ESPADA players do. And everyone knows Nemiga Gaming with the question mark profile pics. Ooh. Never like to see one of those in a matchmaking game.
You're guaranteed that the anime picks bring you at least 80% higher aim. That's something I learned from NACS. Or even some heavily contracted teams come in with some anime pictures instead of their logos. Good lads. There's Finnegan with the opening. An opening loss, rather. Coming into the mid stage of the round. They lose Sophic as well. And the B player completely isolated. This was a great round for ESPADA. And all of a sudden, spiraling out of control. What a shot by Speedak. I would love to see that from his perspective. As he quickly flicked up and took down Dima. Leaving the bomb plant to come through on B. And a 2 versus 2 retake on the hardest site to retake.
Well, the flashes going up in towards the bomb site. Push on through, it's one from Patsy. Jo goes down, and now it's all on the Speedak. A 1 versus 2 with the AWP. And he'll look for these kills. Just in front of him lies and with Dexter, and he's going to go down as well. Speedak looking for the 4K right above him, and he's going to fall. Patsy runs over the top of him. Enough time for the defuse as well. A big clutch from Patsy. Just unfortunate there that Speedak couldn't do much more. He had done everything up until that point, but just going down here, unable to get it done. And that's another round picked up for ESPADA. It's such an important round as well. I was talking about the fact that, yeah, you can get that flawless start, but the first real test is when you go up against the full buy, and Nemiga, they pull it out, and ESPADA win. So no op this time. It was a big factor of their success in the previous round as well here.
Well, yeah, I mean, Speedak with the 3K in the previous, the op certainly did play a big role, and now it's just not in play. Going to cause some problems for ESPADA, or for Nemiga. Not problems for ESPADA. They're happy to have the op out of the hands of Speedak. And rocking on into this round, well, let's take a look at what Nemiga actually have. The AKs, the utility is okay. Their approach is very light towards middle. It's a late play by Jo, but they're presuming ESPADA won't contest for any control there. Their main goal, at least in the beginning, was to have a long control. The utility usage from ESPADA has kept them out, only now reaching the second set of doors where they're going to have to try to ply on through. What we didn't mention earlier is that Dust 2 actually we're rocking the most recent update, because in Pro League, Dinko, you remember we were on the old version, but now we've got the reverse doors and everything. Over at B, there's no longer there's a skybox there now that blocks. Oh, Lollipop ran out of ammo, but he's going to go back to finish off the kill eventually. And what a round that is from him on long. It was very light utility usage as well. They just ran out and won every single aim duel.
Well, yeah, this is much better for Nemiga. They take the bomb site, now Lollipop with an op. He's got 3 kills. And when you say they ran out and took every single aim duel and won them, it was Lollipop that did all of it. So he's done everything in this round for them. He is the star for Nemiga. We've seen him on the previous round, or the previous map earlier today, really showing up in that series. Our team is going to start walking back into the bomb site. Jo, he's going to go down and now 2 versus 2. ESPADA, yeah, pulled it back into a winnable position, but they've got to move quickly. No utility to get rid of these long players. They just need the kills, and there's the first. MDS gone. The last player is Lollipop with the orb. He's going to try and pull it off. A 4K. Could he get the ace early on into this game? He has the lineup, and there it is. Lollipop saves the day. A one-man army. 5 kills, and gets the first gun round on the board for Nemiga.
At long last, they're there. And I mean, it's not that surprising considering Lollipop just shredded them on long. I mean, those openings is really what gifted them the round in the end. And with a 4-1 scoreline, that's a spot now where Nemiga can play from, hopefully with a little bit of confidence coming back into the T side. ESPADA have looked good so far. There's an opening duel for Lollipop, this time with the AWP. Speedak gave it to his buddy based on spawns. And they've now found that one-man advantage to work with so early on in the round. ESPADA starting to push down on short to regain a little bit of control. The flash goes over for the mid-peak. They're not getting anything for it, though. Box, even blind, is able to take that frag.
Oh, 3 versus 3, though. Back and forth we go, but MDS, the man who was making the difference here for the T side, gets himself a 3K. He's a player that definitely showed up for the Nemiga side towards the end. He was really, really showing up in their series early on that they managed to pick up. So keep an eye on MDS. He is certainly a player that you want to be able to see if he can pop off and keep it up. 2 rounds in a row, though, here for Nemiga Gaming. And we take a look at what ESPADA have. It's not going to be a whole lot. They just have the eco. So Nemiga should be getting the 3rd round on the board. We'll see a buy in the next one from ESPADA, most likely, depending on whether or not they want to go for a half buy situation and get as much money as possible out. So realistically, maybe we could even see the tie come in here from Nemiga. What are your predictions coming into the series, Mitch?
Oh man, this is a really rough game to predict. I mean, I would technically go with Nemiga as favorites, but a team like ESPADA are so unpredictable. It's difficult. I mean, even look at this round with the USPs. They're doing so much damage. They're jump headshotting people.
Okay. Another opportunity there for Dima. Two players extremely low. They can win this round still. Oh, whiffs the shot and long, but a lot of damage done indeed, Mitch. And like you said, so unpredictable. 3 kills coming in. Nemiga, not all be happy with that. Luckily, they get the bomb plant. I think it was obviously after time, so it's solo player cash, but still, a little bit of extra money nonetheless. Also, bit of an issue for Nemiga that they've lost so many players in that round. You can take a look at the effects on the economy. $100 in the bank left over for Lollipop, $950 here for Box. The rest, not a whole lot to go with either. Minus Speedak, who actually has a little bit of extra, but that's a good round from ESPADA, realistically. But I'm actually going to favor ESPADA coming in. I think statistically speaking, you've got to expect Nemiga to win it, but with gut feeling, I'm going to go with ESPADA. They've been on the rise.
Well, looks like we're in opposition then, Dinko. You gotta wear one jersey, I'll wear the other.
Yeah, I mean, well, at least one of us wins, right?
Exactly. I guess that's one way to look at it. As long as you're the one that wins, it doesn't matter.
Exactly, as long as I win. That's fine. I agree.
Yeah, ESPADA just saving this one out. They will not be winning this round no matter what happens, as they're just sat on the B bomb site looking to carry these weapons forward. And you can see that some of the Nemiga guys aren't too happy with what happened in the previous round. They're looking to give ESPADA a taste of their own medicine. Lurking out in the tunnels and hoping to find one a little bit later on, but it doesn't look like those opportunities are going to be offered up. As that time just ticks all the way down, and ESPADA seem fairly cemented in their positions, not wanting to take any risks, as these weapons are all they'll be able to afford in the next round.
So here for Nemiga Gaming, they do have an op in the hands of Speedak. The AK-47's in play here as well. And ESPADA, well, it's going to be a purchase up. Counter-terrorist timeout coming through. And ball is collected. ESPADA realize coming into this next gun round, if we lose this, we might actually allow Nemiga to go on a bit of a streak. Purchasing up into this is very important that they come out on top as well. You can see how scrappy it looks already there. It's going to be lacking a good bit of utility. Salt Fake got a Deagle. Dexter yet to purchase. They're leaving around 2k in the bike and not even going to go for the full investment. I mean, I can get behind the idea here. I think it's a decent one. And 3-on-4s in play, they can definitely make it happen. They were just wanting to make sure they were very calculated in their approach there. And a quick play out from Nemiga out long. A chance for Lollipop looking for the initial kill. He managed one, but Finnegan and Dima, they line them up. Finnegan comes in for another one. And it's MDS with a headshot back. 2 versus 3. ESPADA were coming out on top until this point. Speedak, a one-man army in behind the blue bin. Takes down 2. Beautiful plays from Speedak and J-Up. Rex Saltvic as well. 5-4 here on the board for Nemiga as they go into the lead for the first time. And that was a scenario that was looking so good for ESPADA. I'm kind of against, you know, peeking that AWPer there in towards long. I think that kind of throws away their chances.
I'd be inclined to agree with you there. I think, especially considering the angles that they're going for, as soon as the first player dies, you know you can't trade him. So you're just offering up another shot. If Speedak misses, you punish him, but you don't really want to rely on an AWPer missing in order for you to win the round. The ESPADA going for aggressive long control. Nice spams. Oh my god, Box. He just shreds them on long. Taking all the control for his team and leaving ESPADA with just their AWPer holding over towards the car. The flash over doesn't connect to him. Luckily, the canopy wasn't just blocking the sun, but also any bright lights of a flashbang. That Molotov, though, going to cause some serious problems. Smoke goes down, but they can actually still see him cross over to the left side of car, so he is not safe in that position.
Oh, well, Dexter gets 1 pick before falling. Does quite well there, actually. It looked like a one-and-done position, but he walks away with something. And now they push out in towards the A long position. JO takes down Finnegan. They'll be looking for a little bit more, but it's Box that gets the 3K. And it's a round collective for Nemiga Gaming. A brilliant round again. They just cut through the defense on long. 6-4. Okay, too late to shift predictions, Mitch.
I think it is, yeah. I think once you say it out loud, I'm never gonna let you shift predictions. That's
Yeah, I think that's fair. And while we take a look at what ESPADA do have here, it's not the best, I have to say. It's certainly not. But again, it's another one of those scenarios where they're trying to be conservative with their money. They don't want to make any risky plays and invest here. They could have done. They could have got a buy-in, but they want to make sure they have everything in play. They want to have all the utility, all the ops, and all being. That is a good setup. That's a good idea and a good approach into the game. But in doing so, there is obviously the issue that you're letting Nemiga build their economy to the point that it can't be broken very easily. You can see already 9K in the bank for Speedak, nearly just below 6K on MDS, 7K for Nemiga JO. So, I mean, we have so much money available in this Nemiga roster. That is the one issue run with this playstyle, but I'm a fan of getting ESPADA the guns out as quickly as possible. Or as often as possible as well.
oh, that's got to be a kill. JO, oh no, he survives that somehow. That was such a good opportunity for ESPADA. They jumped the gun a little bit, firing away just as he entered the smoke, and that's going to leave them scrambling to find anything. Getting back out on long now, there's 2 players there. And you can see nothing to be connected whatsoever. That's very sad. Violins should be out, as it's 7-4, and Nemiga crushing Dinko's prediction and ESPADA. And you got to remember, this is ESPADA's map pick. Up next is Nuke, and that's where Nemiga dominated earlier on today. And I would expect no less of them. It's the problem with picking Dust 2, really. ESPADA are never going to come in looking like a million times better than Nemiga, unless they happen to out-aim them, which could happen on any map. And then, but when you go to Nuke, Nemiga have a distinct advantage. We always say it, Dinko, I'll say it again. Hate it when teams pick Dust 2. Don't do it. 10 KOTs, I'm picking Dust 2. They're my least favorite things.
So then there are some of the things that trigger you, Mitch, right? And I'm aware that they trigger you quite a bit, because I cast with you every now and then and bring it up at least once or twice. And the thing is, we're in the CIS region here at the RMR event. Get used to it, Mitch. We're going to see Dust 2 come in a lot, and a lot of these teams love to pick them. Throughout this entire tournament, we are going to be seeing pick after pick coming through of Dust 2. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this just is the closed qualifier. We haven't even reached the main clutch island yet, so... Oh, missed. Nade coming in from Finnegan. He's going to be under pressure. A lot of utility coming in towards his position. Getting a bit toasty below his feet. Bit of a campfire, perhaps. And now Speedak, he's going to smoke his door. And the smoke will allow for the bomb plant. 2v3. Man advantage here for the CT side. They come through the door. It's going to be Box shutting down Dima. An opportunity onto the second, but he's now alone. A 1 versus 3 and totally 1 HP. He looks to the right position, and there it is. Salt Fake with the kill. Manages to pick it up. Box will fall, and that will be the round collected here for ESPADA. IP bomb site. I'm a fan of how it's playing out so far with those doors. I definitely think it's a much more viable option. And it's crazy how such a little change can actually have such a big impact. Patsy gonna burn Box away. Another push can come in towards middle. Smoke out the ready from Lollipop. That's gonna go on up to the right side, and now they can walk on through these doors. Where do they decide to go with it? That is the question. There's not Speedak. Starts to walk forward. Finnegan around the corner here with the M4A4. It's going to be such an easy kill for him. A second as well. Finnegan with a big double. It does leave Jo and Lollipop into a 2 versus 4. Another unwinnable B hit this time. These retakes a little bit more winnable now that you can actually hold on to the B-bomb site. The Lollipop is going to pick up Demon. That makes things much more winnable. And that smoke actually is really nice because that isolates the player inside the site and you can solo that fight in towards the tunnels. But it doesn't matter, Lollipop gets aggressive. There was no real other option for him there. He really does well to find a couple of kills, but in the end it will be the round collected for ESPADA. 6 on the board now, Mitch. And we got a good game on our hands. Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's worked for him. He's got that opening pick, and now Nemiga, they're going to be tucking up tail from all their other positions. They don't care about this A long anymore. They want to get into B. They want to immediately take that control, but Patsy gets aggressive. He's going to shut down Lollipop, who's been such an influential player here for Nemiga. They've got one player in the bottom side. It's almost essential that you smoke off that door now. It's like the smoke on the T side of Cash when Cash used to be in the pool, you would always have to smoke the cross on A long. But that smoke, every time you walked that A, you had to throw that smoke. It now becomes that smoke on B, right? You have to throw that door smoke. That is completely essential if you're walking into the B bomb site now.
Very, very much so. If you're not throwing that, it's going to cause you a lot of problems. You can't throw it from in tunnels anymore, though. They did put the skybacks back into play on this update, but for some reason it wasn't in the patch notes. It was really odd.
Well, I've been able to throw the smoke from tunnel in my match
really?
games I played.
I've seen some pros tweet that it doesn't work anymore. Maybe they just patched like a certain part of it, because it wasn't in the notes at all.
Yeah. So I think they changed maybe a little bit of it, but if you go to the right side of the tunnels, you can definitely throw that smoke. I've been doing it over and over again in matchmaking bugs. Yeah, there's lots of variations of it. A few of them don't work as well, but there's one that's very, very simple. In towards the right side of the tunnel, you just kind of go in there and you throw it up in the skybox and it just lands in front of the door. It's a relatively simple one.
Yeah, I remember seeing some. I remember seeing one or two of the pros actually tweeting out that they changed the Dust 2 skybox without putting it in the notes, but.
Maybe they changed a little bit of it. I don't
possibly, yeah, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look back into that.
Well, 8-7 is the scoreline that ESPADA will be looking for. Well, that's a good start. Dexter spots the head of Speedak, takes him right down through the boxes, and a man advantage collected for ESPADA.
Tried to quickly find that. Couldn't find the tweet anywhere. I'll have a look afterwards, though. The amount of advantage for ESPADA you're talking about, it's decent enough to work with, but they do desperately need this round. Nemiga are already off to a bit of a tear on their T side, and with this just being such an important map for ESPADA, they don't want to allow any more room than has already been granted to that T side. The player spotted jump peeking around the corner on A long actually sends ESPADA back towards the site. Playing this much more passive, and I understand why. Their op is holding that long corner, so they need short control so he can hold that freely. And as the smoke was close to fading, oh wow, there we go. They sent the player up, boosted him through to hold short. just to allow that peek to come through. And the peek results in a pick and a 2-man advantage now for the CT side to play with.
Oh, smoke flash. Took a long time. A lot of bounces. Dima still gets a double kill though, and it's all on Box. He's stuck there. It's going to be 7 rounds posted at the half here by ESPADA. A good recovery and a brilliant half of Counter-Strike coming in from these two teams. A huge chunk of rounds for one in the middle by Nemiga. Although 2 rounds picked up on the defuse, 2 retakes to the B bomb site, 1 sprinkled in at the end there as well. And ESPADA will manage to post 7 on the board. So great half of Counter-Strike. I think we're going to get a real close series throughout this entire best of 3. And we're starting things off as close as you can get it with it 7 at the half of Dust 2.
Rocking into the pistol round. Double flashes for Box. He's got a kit as well to play with. As ESPADA look towards the B site, or tunnels, to begin with. They're going to go down towards the lower tons, take a little bit of mid control. Also watching for the A pushes. They've got everything covered. All their bases are ticked. Now it's just about, first of all, evidently waiting for Nemiga to make a move and eventually putting in through middle. Presumably that smoke for Sotfik going to be landing its way towards CT if they do decide on that. But not committing towards any strats just yet. A 4-man short push. Is Box up on that corner? No, but it looks he's below.
Well, the push out towards the A bomb site. Couple players down in towards long. One at CT. It's Box that goes down. Finnegan with a headshot. Now Sotfik. And planting the bomb. Finnegan with a headshot. Jail going down at Speedak, MDS, and Lollipop. The last 3 remaining players here for Nemiga as they look to get back into the bomb side. Speedak and MDS who find the kills, and well, they'll be looking for a little bit more here, but it's Dima on the headshot. ESPADA have somehow recovered this, but it's another 2 versus 2, and Patsy down from CT with the headshot. All on to Speedak. A 1 versus 2 for him. He's going to check out in towards long. The first is Dima that hits the deck, and now Speedak recovers the kit off his fallen teammate. But winning this round becomes so difficult. He's going to go for the full stick. He's got the defuse. Oh no! With shots is moving around. Speedak in the open. Takes the headshot as well. The cherry on top. The round 1. And how the hell has Patty not got that kill?
Well, I will tell you one thing. That was a CIS pistol round, if ever I've seen one. Absolutely insane, scrappy from the get-go, back and forth. One team seems to have an advantage that in any other situation would give them a round win, and then it flip-flops back and forth. But that defused by Speedak, I have no idea. I don't think I'll ever understand how those shots don't connect for Patsy. And the insult to injury on the shot afterwards. Talking to headshots, Box just being deleted. Lollipop falls as well before Patsy eventually goes down to the Molotov, but definitely a worthwhile trade having been made by ESPADA here to start this round off. They're now in a very advantageous spot.
Yeah, huge advantage, but MDS is going to pull that back as he's done so many times before. Dexter comes back in with the AK. And how many times are we going to see a T side lose the pistol round and actually come into the second round better off?
Benefit of getting what you just saw, the bomb plant, right? The money you get on the back of it, plus the loss bonus. Oh, baby, you're stacked on cash. And that is exactly what ESPADA are.
It's unreal, though, how many times you just see... There's situations where it's actually more beneficial to lose the pistol round as the T side than to win it. We've seen it... Hulk and I were casting a series the other day. I can't remember which teams it was, but it was in the Pro League qualifiers. And there was a team that just constantly would lose the pistol rounds, but because they were so good as individuals, they would immediately get that force buy in after a bomb plant and be able just to go on a tear for the next couple of rounds. And it's kind of crazy that they were actually more favored because it messed with the opponent's economy a little bit because they felt obliged to force buy into the second round, that their economy was then screwed for the next couple of rounds after that. So it's kind of a weird scenario we're in at the minute with this current economy system, and it has a lot of critics for a lot of valid reasons. I think I'm one of the critics in terms of that respect because I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, 100%. That was something we brought up even in the original Road to Rio qualifier, where we saw it so many times, where I even had a discussion with Dean at one point where I was saying, I wonder what the technicality... You can't throw games, right? But can you throw around? Like, if you get a bomb plant, can you all just run out and die and not shoot anyone? Because in some situations, like you're saying, it is genuinely the better option once you get that bomb down and just lose the round.
Obviously, you want to win the round all of the time, but there's certain scenarios in which you can actually lose the round that you come out worse for wear. With the spam coming through, it's going to be a good amount of damage being done. 2 players on top here for Nemiga. I don't think you'll ever come out better on the T side after losing a pistol in comparison to how you would winning a T pistol round, but what I'm saying is come out better in terms of come out better than the CTs, which often happens.
Yeah.
Those kind of pistol rounds, there's no real reason why you would ever really want to lose it.
The only thing,
gonna be in a better situation if you win the round anyway.
Sure, you will be than your opponents in that sense, and then you would have been. The only issue is that if you win the pistol, your opponents get the instant boost to their economy, where they can answer back in at 2-0. They can buy, and then they're competing. Whereas if you were to lose the round and you've already done enough damage to the CT side, they then win. They don't get that good of a buy. If you've got 4 kills, like, they've got to reinvest into armor massively, especially if you were to kill yourself rather than let the other player get the 400 plus for killing you, depending on the weapon they've got. You could end up then in a spot where you've wrecked their economy straight away. It was a particular game where they were like 4 versus 1. And I was like, they lost the round now. They would actually be in a pretty good spot, having had the bomb planted. Like, if they all just killed in console and let him defuse, they could end up wrecking them and have 3-1 up by just winning the second round. It'd be a huge risk, but I would love to see someone attempt it at some point.
I don't think any betting organization that has live betting for rounds would love to see that at all. No other fans at all. But, you know, Mitch's weird science experiments, you know, certainly would love it. But, yeah, I think as a competitive standpoint, if you're a competitor, you never want to lose a round, right? So I doubt we'll ever see that. And if we do, who knows where it might be. And, well, it's going to be the scout and play here for Speedak and Box. M4 in play for Lollipop, a FAMAS here for JO, and an MP9 in play for MDS. This is an important round coming up for ESPADA, if they want to try and continue this comeback trail.
Certainly on the right path at the moment. But Nemiga are going to be quick to let them stray from it. Box goes down, though, immediately towards the bottom of mid and out of the round. Looking for a little bit more. Nice flick on the deagle as MDS falls. ESPADA miles ahead, and with the B pick, it's an easy CT split. At least that's what they want Nemiga to think. The smoke is going to slow them down, because for all they know, there's a player lurking away in mid, ready to take them down. Oh, excuse me, take them down. So grouping up in tunnels, looking to make this push happen with the upgraded weapon on Dima. Had a deagle to start it now on an MP9. They managed to take one player down at the door. Speedak ready to barrel on through. He picks up the FAMAS. But at this point, he might just go for the save. That's really sad that they're saving. 1 HP, 34, 27, but they have no idea.
I mean, even, yeah, the low HP factor, but even then, trying to get back into this B-bomb site, even with this change to the doors, is always still difficult, so... With a positional advantage, lack of utility, it's just the complete informed decision to just go for the save call. Especially taking a look at what they've got left over in their economy. So, a 10-9. We have really got a game on our hands here. Saltfix saving in the B-bomb site. That's one of the positions that's actually neutralized the most, right? Is the behind the car position. Before, you would always have the positional advantage over the player coming back through the door, because you would sort of have to transition looking from one angle to the right side of the site to then come into look at a different angle on the left side. And it's very difficult to come around that corner. And you would always have like an extra millisecond in towards the back of that car. And that's a huge amount of time in professional Counter-Strike. So I'm a fan of that. That certainly gets rid of one of those overpowered positions inside the B-bomb site. Makes retakes a little easier. Good start from Box though. Man advantage picked up for Nemiga.
With that 4 versus 5 in play, they keep on fighting on the ESPADA side, trying to pull it back and succeeding with Box and JO going down. Nemiga, no reason to keep on dueling on middle, but they went for it anyways. And with that, ESPADA pulled back into the lead. The CT side heavily rotating to B, and this gamble is going to pay off. ESPADA playing this very predictably. There's the smoke going over. Yeah, indeed, the skybox completely open. I've been lied to. And a split coming out, but there's lots of players here ready and waiting for them. But as they come through the smokes, through the window, it's easily connected by ESPADA, one after another, building them up, breaking them down, and tying it up 10-10.
I can't believe that, Mitch. Can't believe you would do that on a CS broadcast.
Oh, you're giving out to me? What games did you bring up the other day, huh?
yeah. Well, 10-10. I think it was Hearthstone I brought it. Anyway, 10-10,
And
even up.
Fortnite, if I remember correctly. You were talking about Fortnite.
Brought that up, but I brought that up because you cast that game. I don't. And 10-10, it's going to be Saltvic that opens things up. SpeedAct going down. And a man advantage in play here for ESPADA. It's Saltvic that goes forward towards long, checking close car, and now taking a battle down in towards JO's position. He manages that kill easily enough, alongside Patsy. And again, this round is just one that ESPADA should be cleaning up every day of the week. You should never really see ESPADA lose this kind of round. We did see, though, Simon lose the full pistols earlier on, full USPs. That was quite the disaster.
And the shots from Lollipop get himself one kill. Oh, a second kill as well. But he can't even get to the rifle to save it over. It's a shame. 11-10, they roll. And so ESPADA flying into the lead. Nemiga not having the best of buys. The thing is, had Lollipop survived there, he could have dropped over an AWP and still had a rifle to play with. But I don't think he had armor, right? He just had the P250. So likely you would have still seen a similar buy with just an extra rifle floating around in his hands. Which could have made a massive difference considering how he's been playing.
Definitely could have. And one Nemiga, again, it just always feels like they're in these scenarios. But Box gets another kill on the scout. Okay, Finnegan. Nice stuff. Through the smoke, a second kill collected. And the wall of smokes comes down in towards CT spawn. That allowed them to cross on by to the A site. Utility starting to come on and through the back of it. Saltvic, man tasked with planting. Finnegan continues to cut through them. 3 kills. He's hungry for the 4th. There it is. 4 kills collected. 12-10. Finnegan bloodthirsty. Move into round 23. Nemiga finally get the money back in. It's going to be the double up setup. JO and SpeedAct picking them up. The AUG in the hands of MDS, and the M4 is available. And it's ESPADA going for a timeout, realizing that Nemiga are coming into their first gun round for a while, and if ESPADA win this, they're going to be in such a good position.
Very responsibly called timeout as well, and that's something ESPADA have been utilizing very, very well, is the timeouts in this game. Taking a look at that previous round as well, you see the style that's just outmatching Nemiga. They're rushing in together, playing as a unit the whole way. Smoke on the Molotovs, running around. They've got their pop flashes for the corner, even despite Box opening it up on the scout. The rest of the team couldn't get anything done, and even in the opportunities where they could have found a kill with a correctly placed shot, the trades were almost always instantaneously going to be found. You look at Lollipop down in the pit. Well, as soon as he was peaked, there was one up close on top of the little wall, the half wall, and there was one playing right where Lollipop is now, right where he found the kill from, ready to trade him. And as we're talking about ESPADA and trades, Patsy's all too happy to show us one. Demon with another opening on middle, and although he then follows with a very aggressive push considering his HP, a 3v3 always looks good for the T side. The AWP aggression! Oh, that could have went so well! And is he still alive? What? How's he made it out of that one? You spammed a 12 HP, 2 players then took up the spray, and he still gets away with a frag. That's insane.
An advantage for Nemiga, but again a retake scenario. They've got plenty of time for this. Box is a good position, gets the kill. That should be the retake now confirmed. Saltvic has to pull off a 1 versus 3. He's got a good position with the short player. It will be 1 kill, but again 2 more to find here. 46 HP inside of the site. Going to be gathering up inside the ramp area. He needs a quick 2 kills here. There's the first. Now use of the cover. He can win this. 1 versus 1. He's going to go back, and there it is. Solvik with the 3. It's ESPADA with another round win. Nemiga, they had the 1 versus 3. They got the quick kill in towards long. And still, Solvik just does such a good job at outplaying them, putting it into a series of 1 versus 1s. Takes down the short player first, crouches in behind the site, goes in the aggressive stance, and is able to turn those last 2 fights into 1 versus 1. Solvik pulls it off.
That was pretty incredible. A 1v3, as you said, should have been pretty much confirmed. To stand by you with that, but massive work by ESPADA right when they needed it as well. 13-10. Opening duel goes their way. Box tagged them twice through the doors and eventually dealt with. And for ESPADA, they've got low HP on Dexter towards top mid, but that's about the only disadvantage they're facing. The weapons definitely in their favor. As this round goes on, you're going to see it played out very slowly. Well, at least hopefully. As ESPADA surely realized they're up against weaker weapons. Dexter got tagged by a scout. With that, you'll have a pretty clear read on what they're buying. And that Deagle certainly hammers home any point about that.
Well, gave the ult out of the map. We'll let ESPADA pick that up, that's for sure. Or should I say Nemiga. And well, it's going to be Dima, who takes down Jo in towards this B hit. Speedak does recover a scout. He's searching for something inside the middle, but it's the lower tunnel player here, Patsy, that's going to go down, and that's an AK. Speedak has got a weapon of value here. He might actually want to just carry over into this next round, but what they decide to do. It's top middle, they stand with the AKs. What's going on here? A little confused. Anyway, Lollipop is going to pick up the AK, and Speedak is the player that goes on a bit of a hunt. And that's a very good job from Patsy, actually, to get rid of that AWP, because if he had left the AWP on the floor, Speedak would have had the AWP here. So, good note from Patsy to throw that AWP out of the map. Okay, might do a little bit of damage here on the exit. Got a chance, but he's going to be shut down. Finnegan on 10 HP. Dima incredibly low as well. And get away from the bomb just in the nick of time. And ESPADA keep 3 players alive. Lollipop manages to save an AK. And it's another round added to the tally here for ESPADA. 14-10. Looking for victory here on Dust 2. And always trust your gut, Mitch. That's all I'm saying.
Alright, getting cocky. I see. I'll give it to you. ESPADA have definitely come back into this. They're playing absolutely insane at the moment. The individual performances have been stepping it up again and again. Oh, the angle around that. Absolutely glorious. As Dexter's able to pick up the opening, and then they just bail back, happy, content with their opening.
Yeah, but Speedak might get this kill. They're not smoking CT. Why? They just walk into the open. Speedak will find an easy pick on the Finnegan. Maybe ESPADA getting a little bit complacent, and that might just cost them here. You fall asleep at the wheel against Nemiga, and they are going to take your car away.
Gonna tow it. What happens when you fall asleep at the wheel?
They're going to drive over the top of it in a monster truck.
That's a little bit more extreme. Is just no way to get it back, no?
Nope, none.
All right.
Destroyed, flattened.
Very right-wing approach to things. But ESPADA getting the bomb plant down at least, so Nemiga still have a little bit of work to do. That sleepy driver's still at full speed, and ESPADA hoping the caffeine's going to wake them up. The shots ringing out. Great kills coming through by Patsy. Solvik able to follow up, and all of a sudden, Speedak's alone with an AWP. And not really a lot of time to get it done.
Yeah, he's just stuck in the pit. He can't win this. He's already conceded. He realizes winning is not a feasible opportunity here for Speedak. And he's going to sit back and just kind of chill, hoping to pick off an exit. But what more is that going to bring other than just an extra statistic? So it's all about saving that AWP into the next round. And God, this is looking so rough from Nemiga. This looks like it might just be done here. Always trust your gut, Mitch. Unlike you, Mitch, I don't go on about things. And well, it's going to be SpeedAct that takes down Dima. A show match that happened almost half a year ago. Probably is half a year ago now.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dingo. I've never once brought that up. Now that we're talking about it, you know, 1.1.
Well, ESPADA, they're down in towards short. 4 players, they're a man down. And this could be the turnaround that Nemiga need. They're going to be sitting back on the bomb site this position. They're just not going to check it. This is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Jo executes them from behind. Dexter gets 1 kill, but he's instantly traded back. Finnegan somehow still alive, gets 1 kill, but he's dealt with very quickly by SpeedAct. And it's 15-11. How often do we see teams get to map point and then just not win the next one after that? It's just happened so often.
It's a Mendel game, isn't it? It has to be at this point. You know, when I was getting into casting for like half a year, you'd see it a lot. We had that rule, like if you win 50, you know, we were joking about it, but it just happens so damn much. I guess it's like you fully realize where you're at. You know, one team gets a little bit complacent, the other realizes it's now or never, boys. Let's pull it out. You spur on through.
Assault fake.
It's much more aggressive than we've seen Nemiga so far, Dinko. I mean, usually not pushing straight up short like that, and especially not when they've got long control.
Well, it's going to be Salt Fake with another one. This is what I was talking about. He can just be this real solid, aggressive rifler and just get in your face and really do a lot of damage. And while MDS catches the bomb, the bomb is just falling down in towards middle. Horrible situation here for ESPADA, but they'll be able to recover it. They've given them control back. It's just SpeedAct, really. Lollipop has got 1. The 3 versus 3, they still don't have that bomb. Oh god, the top middle here. Mitch, this could all crumble. Luckily, Finnegan takes a headshot to the smoke, but MDS has arrived to the lower tunnel. And they still don't have the bomb. They still have no opportunity. Saltfish trying to make a play. It's a 3rd kill in the round. And it's all on the MDS to keep his team alive here on Dust 2. Otherwise, it's victory for ESPADA here on Dust 2. And we'll be heading on to the 2nd map.
MDS was last spotted in tunnels, and that means even coming from where he is now, they'll expect him to be on short. A very odd setup from Nemiga, playing aggressive on short, but not middle to assist it. I don't really understand what they were going for on that one. Perhaps only getting used to the door positions at the moment, but that is a mistake you cannot afford to make. Now MDS in the 1v2 making his way towards the ramp spots. 1 at the start and finds the frag. No idea about Dima though. And Dima straight out for the peak. A very ambitious play, but one that works out. And so we will be taking it to the 2nd map with a 1-0 for ESPADA.